Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play series for F1 Manager 24. I say brand new because we are going to be starting this series over. There have been a few patches. However, unfortunately, I'm going to have to put a big giant asterisk here. I am not happy with the state of the game right now. They have not fixed enough. In fact, the things that they have fixed just really haven't been hardly anything. For people that are actually trying to play the game at a higher difficulty level. It's very disappointing. I even thought about playing Motorsport Manager out of protest because it's just not good. The state of the game is just not good right now. If you're someone who plays on easy mode and just wants to relax and have fun, it's not a bad game. There's some cool new features, things like that. But if you're actually playing at the hard difficulty level and you really enjoy min-maxing the sliders and all that kind of stuff, unfortunately, the state of the game right now is that you are almost guaranteed to be challenging for the title and probably winning the title in your third season with a brand new started team that is like the bottom of the barrel car at the very beginning. And with that, not even with good drivers, or good anything, you are very, very likely to be challenging for the title in your third season. Reason for that is because the AI just doesn't do research properly at all. They did fix a little bit of it, so it's a little bit better. But when you get to the third season, in the second season, the game, or there's a huge reworking, I guess, or whatever they call it, those where they rebalance all of the stats, and there's a huge drop in the performance of all the cars across the board, right? Which is fine, but the AI doesn't do research properly, so they don't account for those regulations properly, and the player can. And so if you account for the regulations properly as a player, because you're smart and you actually know how to read, then by the time you come out of that into the third season, you basically have the best car in the entire lineup. You go from like one of the worst cars to the best car in 1 year, essentially. It's disappointing. The only reason I'm not playing Motorsport Manager is that if I were playing Motorsport Manager, there'd be a lot of people asking me why I'm not playing F1 Manager. And so I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to do a quick little series, probably 3 seasons long, to show you the state of the game, and then I can point to this series and be like, this is why I'm not playing F1 Manager 24 right now. So we are going to go ahead and play it, and I'm sorry for putting that big caveat in front of it, and it's just disappointing. I've been trying. I thought the patch this last couple days was going to change everything. It looked good after the first season, but once you got into the third season, it just fell apart. So I don't know what's going on over there at the team here that's making this game. Was it Frontier or whoever it is? No, I forget who makes this game. But it's disappointing. As a programmer myself, I try not to be too harsh on other programmers, but in this particular case, it feels like something's going wrong over there. Like I don't know if they just don't want to continue making the game, but they still have a license for the game. I think they have a license for a couple more years or something like that. I don't know what the state is. I don't want to speculate too much. But we are going to go ahead and play through a run. And I mean, I think the game's still fun. There's some fun aspects to the game. I do really like the created team. I do really like some of the other additions. I actually kind of like the way they did the sponsorships and stuff like that. Although those are not, I think there's some issues with those as well. But it's just the balancing, the difficulty. It's just not a very hard game at all. And that is the disappointment. So we're going to jump into this, and we're going to start a brand new created team, and it's all going to be good. We will figure it out. We're going to have a little bit of fun, even if we're not going to have as much fun as I was hoping for. We will be doing the story. That's good. And we will be changing it from Frontier Racing to Broyar Racing. Right, that's the one we want. Yep. Okay, so we'll go with our story. And we are going to start with the lowest starting balance, just because I want to make this as difficult as possible. We're going to lower the quality of facilities and car apartments. We're going to try to give us a chance to make this as difficult as possible. All this looks good to me. And then let's go ahead and jump to drivers and staff. I'm going to try. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm going to try to only select AI generated stock drivers and staff. We're going to see what this looks like. So all rating I mean, we want this to be pretty low rated overall. But actually, what I want to do is I want to get up in here. I want to see, actually, I just want to look at the generated drivers. We're going to look at generated only. And we're going to try and grab the best generated drivers there are. That are not 35 years of age. I don't want old drivers. So generated only, age range, we're going to go pretty young. So there's only 3 of them. They're actually pretty decent. Oh, these are actually really decent. Oh, because I had it sit on 3 stars. I want someone around the, like the Jack Doohan, Dennis Hogger, Oliver Bierman level. So 74 to 75 is what I'm looking for. So we'll go low rating, and then we'll go AI generated only. Oh, there's just not any. Do they even use 2 stars? We might have to go with someone like this level, because I don't want I don't want to go with, I want to go with just something that's just, you know, kind of random generated. I thought it would be fun to kind of do this, but I was really hoping to go for low. These are just maybe a little too low. You know what I mean? These are pretty bad drivers here. I think we're going to go with something like this. Let's go with, let's see, who do we like better? Doesn't really matter. I think they're about the same. Let's go with Fernandez for car 1. And for car 2, we're going to go with Ibanez here. We're going to go female driver. I think that'll be cool. A little bit different. I guess I've had female drivers in the past. They've just never been at a level that, sadly, were good enough to take. But it's good to see this right here. So this is awesome. We'll go with that. And I think I'm happy with those. We're going to come in here to the staff. So we want to go around, you know, probably in the 70s. I think if we can find someone in the 70s that's AI generated, I will be happy with that. So we'll go with, yeah, I mean, we'll go with Otanez here, Ramon. I think that looks good. Vanessa here looks fine for me on the, I just like the idea of just doing generated only. When I play a Football Manager, I do a lot of just generated type stuff there as well. Looks like we might have to get a, oh no, there are 2. So yeah, this all looks good. Perfect. I'm happy with that. I mean, in the 70s, seems like a good place to start. These drivers might be a little better than like the Oliver Behrmans, but it's okay. I wanted to go AI generated when I jumped into this, just to kind of make it fully my team, fully not, you know, not based off anything reality. I thought that'd be kind of fun. All right, we're gonna go with that. I'm gonna go ahead. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we should just go with Ferrari because it's not gonna matter. Now we're gonna go with Mercedes because, not Ferrari. I meant Honda. We're gonna go with Mercedes because, I mean, if I was gonna play this for real, I'd want to go with the team that has the best engine durability for this first season out, just to try to save us a little bit of money. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Team colors. Do I not have? Ooh, I don't have the colors here. I don't remember the colors for my own colors. Let me go find those real quick because I actually want to have it. The official Broyar colors. I'll be right back. All right, I got it. So, official Broyar blue is 208 on the hue, 86 on the saturation, and 55 on the brightness. There we go. All right, so that is our official team color here. I'm going to go ahead and add that down here just so we have it for reference. I do want like our secondary, I think, just to be straight up black. And then I think I want our tertiary to be kind of a grayish color. And then this one right here might be fine. We'll start with that and see how that looks. So there we go. Did I actually add the black to the palette? No, I did not. Okay, there we go. Black's added to the palette. So all of that looks good. Hasn't updated anything over here yet, but that's okay. All right, team principal. That'll be me. I am not a first-time manager. I would say I'm an experienced manager at this point. We are going to go hard car development and hard race difficulty. Try to give us at least a little bit of a fighting chance to have a challenge here. And I think all of that looks good. All right, we are in here. We got our new drivers. Again, maybe a little bit better than I normally start with, because I start with like the Oliver Behrmans and stuff like that, but that's okay. We're going to go with the generated drivers. I think that's still a fine deal. A difference of like 4 on the skill level of the drivers is not going to be what makes the difference between us winning this or not. So where do we want to start? Okay, first up, we've only got a couple $1,000,000 bucks. We will get some more money here as soon as the sponsor stuff comes in, but we don't really have much money to do much of anything right now. So truth be told, we're probably not going to start anywhere except just continuing pretty quick, because we're going to get the sponsor negotiations in 6 days. I do want to jump in here and make sure that my drivers are at least developing a little bit of what I want them to develop. What do we want to develop here? I mean, I kind of want to develop things that you're just not good at. So maybe some of the control and accuracy. I don't know if I care as much about defending. Maybe overtaking control, accuracy, something along those lines. There's overtaking and control. There's control and accuracy. There's overtaking control, defending, brake. You know what? Let's go wheel to wheel. I think that's going to be pretty good for you. And then we'll come in here with you. Your weaknesses are cornering, reactions, control, smoothness. There's cornering, reactions, smoothness, and adaptability, which actually is not bad. Go ahead and plug that in for you. I like that. What about you guys? I mean, what I want to do with these guys is bump up their, we want the affinity growth for sure. I don't care about feedback. And composure. So communication and composure is really what we want. So we'll go with responsiveness for you and responsiveness for you. I don't really care about the setup feedback, to be honest, because I usually can find the setups very, very quickly myself, so it's not really as important. We do have some affiliates here. I mean, I'm not super worried about the affiliates at all. We're probably never going to use them. Doesn't really matter. For our technical chief here, I want to go with, I mean, usually underfloor is the best, and he's actually really bad at underfloor. I've heard the underfloor is not quite as good this year as it has been in the past. Usually, actually, this year, you might want more front wing, rear wing. So, we might go front wing, rear wing. His side pods is terrible. We might go front wing, rear wing chassis, something like that. Aero principles, and just start with that, get that maxed out, and then worry about things after that. I kind of want to keep you relatively balanced, honestly. So airflow sensitivity actually is probably a good thing. Whatever you got like the lowest stats in. Airflow sensitivity, low speed downforce would be good. So maybe like grip and traction for right now. And kind of get that up a little bit. And then finally, our sporting director here. I want to get, normally I'd go for aptitude, but until we get their aptitude capped, it might not matter as much. I don't care about leadership as much, at least not this first season out. I do like processes, so aptitude process training, something like that. Probably, I do still want to get the aptitude up a little bit. Let's do industry standards, aptitude processes, and we'll go from there. All right, pit crew training. Let's go trading. Let's go ahead and take care of this. All right, so there's some difference of opinions here, and I have a very strong opinion about pit crew trading, especially first season out. First season out, I do not care if we make mistakes in the pit at all, because we are going to be dead last first season out, at least until we start developing parts. And so whether I'm dead last by 5 seconds or 15 seconds, I do not care. So for that reason, my only goal first season out is to win the DHL pit crew challenge, so that we get all the money we can get. We get first place, we get the max money from that. And for that reason, we are going to focus almost intentionally on pit stop time, because we only need one fast pit stop to be win that, right? If we have 2 pit stops and one of them had a mistake and what took an hour and a half, I don't care, as long as one of them was, 2.6 seconds or whatever. So we are going to focus on pit stop time. I know some people have difference of opinions. I think your opinions are, well, I guess if it's your opinion of what your goal is. For my goal, your opinion is wrong. Quite frankly, it is. It's just wrong. And so that is because of my goal. My goal is to win the pit stop crew. I do not care about mistakes in the pit crew this first season out. Now, when we get to the third season, we're actually challenging for the title. Well, yeah, because that becomes a bigger deal. But for right now, we do not care. So for that reason, we are going to go for gym training, and that is literally all we're going to focus on for until we get this number down to probably under 2.6, in the 2.5s is my guess, depending on how the rest of the crews are running in their pit crews. So we'll see. Oh, and I do need to set this to cumulative. All right, we'll go ahead and get through this. And this might have changed, but my understanding is that you don't want to train your pit crew usually if they're in the tired section. So if we look here, we're still well rested. I can go ahead and do another training session. And then we want to make sure that they're only well rested the next day. First, they could do the first one, the morning one, but they're tired for the second one. So my understanding is they get less of a growth if they are tired. So we are not going to train them if they are tired. And we want to come into this pretty much very well rested. So more than likely what we're going to do is we might even give them this much rest here, because I want to make sure they're fully rested for this first weekend out. Even though I don't care about mistakes, I do care enough about mistakes to not push them into the lower thresholds here. So I think that's good. A full week of that, we drop off a couple hundreds, which isn't a lot, but it does add up. We will get this down into 2.5s and possibly even the 2.4s at some point. In fact, I think when they first came out with this system, I was able to get them into the 1.9s, I think, or something like that. But they made it a lot harder to do that. It might not even be possible anymore. I'm not sure. All right. All of that is that. Here is our car. Last place. Dead last. So, again, this puts that much more emphasis on the fact that if our car is dead last at the start of this entire career, how in the world are we going to be the first place car by the third season? Some pretty bad stuff, unfortunately. So, it is what it is. We're going to play through it. It's going to be fine. I don't care about scouting. We've already got the people we want. Facilities, again, we're going to wait till we get some money. Everything else. Speaking of finances, by the way, we do have a very low cost cap right at the beginning here. We've only got 67 million left in our cost cap. So we've got to be a little careful about that. So that is one good thing, that the starter team does have a little bit of a reduction in cost cap the first season out, which actually kind of helps make the difficulty a little bit more of a challenge, I suppose. But other than that, I don't think, can we even do any design right now? How much is design? We are going to do front wing, rear wing primarily for the first two designs. In fact, we're going to put our hours into the front wing, rear wing. We're just going to go ahead and put all of our hours into one at a time. I have pivoted from this a little bit. I used to balance these and do half and half, but I have pivoted from that a little bit because I did see some feedback, and obviously big about feedback. I saw a YouTube video about some kind of ideas around this, and I thought they were pretty good ideas. And the sense is that the hours you put in don't make any difference whatsoever until you make another part after that. And so if you were to balance these out and do two of them, well, then you have to build two new parts in order to benefit from those hours. Whereas if you were to put them all into the front wing, well, then we could just build a front wing and we've already benefited from all those hours immediately. Whereas if I were to split it between front wing, rear wing, we would have to do like a 50-50. So we're going to just put it all in the front wing. Front wing is going to be one of the most important pieces for us this year. Underfloor is still good, just maybe not as good as it has been in years past. So front wing, usually I go for low speed, medium speed, and I believe high speed. Nope, so airflow front. And I'm going to go ahead and stick with my balances from previous years, I think, for now. I can see the argument for some high speed, but honestly, we're going to get high speed from the rear wing, and that's where I'm thinking for that. Some of the rest of this. Now, the one thing I do want to try and do, and this is something that might be, if you were truly min-maxing, you would ignore dirty air tolerance for the most part, and probably DRS effectiveness. And maybe top speed is not as important, but mostly those two are the ones that you ignore. I'm going to try to balance those a little bit, and the reason I'm going to try to balance those a little bit is because I'd like to just make a good car all around to make our drivers happy, and I'm going to hope that that's going to be the thing. The real difficulty slider in this game might actually be the lifespan here. If you were to do like a full weight car, yeah, that would make the difficulty quite a bit harder. But honestly, like, if that was the case, then why do you even have the slider at all, honestly? So I'm just going to go ahead and run min-maxing. We're going to play the full min-max run here, and we'll just deal with the repercussions of us winning in the third season, hopefully. later. So this will cost us 1.8 mil, which is exactly, we have enough for that. So I think it's good to get this started. We're not going to go intense anymore. I did a little bit more research. Intense is 3 times the cost for only 1.5 times the expertise. Now it is great if you've got buckets of money, but because we're not going to have very much money this first year out, we're not going to do any intense at all. And then finally, we want to make sure we get this part out, you know, at least within some reasonable amount of time. So right now we got it out for Suzuka. We can get 1 out for Suzuka. If I were to add another engineer, we can get 2 out for Suzuka. Do I care much more than that? We get it down for Melbourne. We could get it down enough for Melbourne to get 1 out from. It would only be 1 though. I think we're just going to focus on Suzuka, and I think it's going to be fine. So let's get. Let's see if we can get 6 out for Suzuka. 6 would be put us at 12, so 35. So four engineers. I think that looks good. Let's go with that. We'll get 4 out, and that's the only design we can do for right now until we get some money. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. I don't think I'm missing anything. Yeah. And what is our standing? What do we got to be? They want us to be 9th or above, which actually is not. That's actually probably the biggest challenge of this entire thing, is being 9th or above the first season. After the first season, it should not be a problem anymore. Alrighty. We're getting our sponsors coming in now. Okay, so the big thing here is that we want a lot of upfront money for sure. So big upfront money is a big part of what we want to do here. But we also want, the engagement money is also very good. What we don't want really is race day performance money. That is not as good for us. For example, Faro or NRG is going to give us a lot of race day performance money here. But, and I think the secondaries change depending on who you've got set up here. Or do they look like, are they the same? Aptro, Henrik, Serpent. No, I guess so. I guess it's all the same. So I thought it was different. I don't know here. Normally I'd go for the one that's 3-star because you presumably that is the most money total, and it does look like it is the most total money. I think what I'm going to do is let's subtract race day from the total. So let's race day is about 20 mil. This one's about 31 mil guaranteed, right? This one's 31 mil total. This one's 38 mil total. Actually, we'll take it again. Take off the race day. This is 30 mil. Take off the race day. This is less. So I think Faro NRG, even though it does have a lot of race day here, and the least amount of upfront money from the main sponsor, I think it is still going to be the best one for us, because even if we did not get the race day money, we should still get the full upfront and engagement money, which is about 31 mil. So I think we're going to go with that. Now for these, again, I'd still like to go as much upfront as possible, or at least as much guaranteed as possible. I mean, we definitely want to get this one right here. This one's going to be a lot of upfront money. I think that one looks good. And then probably Henrik for the engagement money, because again, that's not guaranteed upfront, but is guaranteed over the course of the season. And then I've got to start making some decisions about the other ones. I definitely think we want Aptro here, because that's going to be some more engagement money. And then honestly, probably what we're going to do is we're just going to leave off Serpent, because that's race day money. We're not going to be really worried about race day money, so we'll probably just go with these last two as our last 2 ones, and I think that's a good place to be. That'll give us the max upfront money, as well as a good chunk of engagement money. And then, you know, if we get a little bit of a race day money, awesome. I mean, the good news is that we will get some race day money for being like, what, 20th place or something like that. So there is still some thrown into it, which is great. All right, that is all of that. We do have decals available. I don't think we definitely want to go with this car. That's how we want it to look. I want to make sure we are going through our color scheme here. Honestly, the gray's a little bit maybe lighter than I'd like. I probably like a little bit darker gray. Something like that. We're going to add that to the palette. We'll go with a little bit darker gray, and I think I'm happy with that. And oh, it does have the things on here already. I like the idea of making all these silhouetted. I think it looks cool. And so we're just going to go through and silhouette everything, because I just like the way it looks with our color scheme. So there's a easy way to do this. Maybe there is, and I just don't know it. Oh, there's our team logo. I need to change our team logo here in a minute. That's fine. We can get that changed momentarily. Some of these were actually already kind of a white color anyway. All right, I think that takes care of all of those. Guess I could do this offline and speed things up, but we're already cruising through here as is. All right, that looks good. Cool. And we got a couple more. I think we were Faro NRG last time I started this run, right? As our primary. All right. That all looks good. Apply changes in save design. And we'll just save it here. And make sure we're going with that. Cool. Apply changes, exit editor. And we want to go edit our logo real quick. So, I love the fact that we can, this is one of the cool features they've added in, right? That we can come in here and we can actually make our logo exactly what we want. Let me see. Okay, that's what I want. I want a new one. I was like, how did I do it this last time? We want a hexagon. And so we want this one. Confirm that. We want to move it because we want to rotate it 90 degrees. Come on. 90, please. 90 degrees. Perfect. And then we want to embiggen it. Fill up the space here. That looks good. We don't need to move it or anything like that. That all looks good. We want to change the color. Use Broyar blue. Looks great. And then we want to add a layer. And we're going to add a letter. Font solid. I think that's the only fonts we got, right? I think we want that one. Grab our B. Confirm. Obviously, this is going to be a white. Confirm. And then we can change the shape of this a little bit. Because I think last time what I did was how did we do it? Disable uniform scaling if we shift. Yeah. That's not what I wanted. Wrong button. There we go. There we go. I want to shrink this up a little bit. The Broyar Bee is a little bit more of a shrunk kind of look here. And then we can re-enable embiggening and something like that. Pretty close. It's close enough. I'm not gonna overthink it too much. I could always change this later if I decide that it's just not quite what I'm looking for. But we're gonna go ahead and go with that. And so make sure our logo is. I guess I could have gone with the first one that I'd made, but that's okay. Because it did still save my one from last time. That all looks good. And then finally, I think we just still have a preset in here for our, yeah, that looks good. Let's go with our preset from previously, and I guess I could have done that with the car as well. All right, I like it. Our team looks great. I'm happy. Let's go. That was one of the most important things we could have done in this game, is setting up our car design. The sponsor plan. So here we want to do things that are not going to, we don't want to do things that are going to take away staff activity or staff size. That's what I want. I don't want to do engineer team size, stuff like that. And the reason for that is I think there's still a bug where if you do reduce your team size, there's a chance that they won't come back ever. So we don't really want to do that. I don't really care about driver mentality, especially this first season out. So we're going to do that one as an easy one. A little bit of staff performance hit. Probably. All these are going to be hit somewhere, right? Let's see here. I don't want to do driver crew fatigue. We can't. Let's just. We'll just kind of go through some. I don't think I need to overthink it too much. We need one more to hit our target here, 48.24. That is perfect. All right, we'll just do all those. I think those are good. Probably could have auto-filled those, but that's all right. Get our full monies. All right, we got 21 million bucks, guys. We got money. Let's go. Let's start off with some designs because we definitely want to do some more designs. We want to do a rear wing for sure. And we don't have any hours left. That's okay. So rear wing, we're going to do... actually, we're probably going to put hours into rear wing later. Maybe I skip the rear wing for now because I don't think we're going to put hours into like something like a side pod, for example. We might do a side pod. Plus, it'll help our engine overall a little bit right now. So side pod, usually I do engine cooling. And airflow middle. I think that we're going to stick with the kind of the plan here from previous years. I mean, some of the balance might have changed now with other things going on, but I think I'm still happy with the general gist of this. Let's see here. 33 days, and it takes 8 days for a side pod, so we're looking at 41 days right now. Sure, that puts us in time for Suzuka, barely. But honestly, that's probably okay. I think Suzuka is a perfect goal to at least get one of these out. And there we go. And then let's go ahead and do another one. We're going to do some suspension. We're not going to really be adding hours to suspension, I don't think. So suspension, we usually go low speed. Sorry, low speed. We want low speed. Brake cooling, which would now be considered tire preservation, and airflow front. And these are my settings from last year, but I like the balance, to be honest. The only other thing I might do is, what gives us dirty air tolerance? That's our wings, isn't it? That gets us dirty air tolerance. We might want to get a little bit of dirty air tolerance at some point. All right, suspension is also 8 days. Is it the chassis that's 10 days? I think it's the chassis that's 10 days. Let's go ahead and so we're at 41 here, which is also still in time for Suzuka. So I think actually that is fine. And then last design. We probably will do the chassis at some point. Honestly, we might not put hours into the underfloor. We might do front wing, rear wing, and chassis this time around. Let's just design this on underfloor then. And underfloor, I usually like to go low speed, medium speed, and high speed. Just all the speeds. I could get some airflow sensitivity if I really want to just help out the dirty air tolerance. Oh, smidge. Which again, it's not, you know what? I just don't care. If our drivers hate our car, then they hate our car. But if we're getting first place, then what are they thinking of, right? They're crazy. So we'll go with that. And right now I'm going to try to put some probably engineers into this because we have some extra engineers just to get this thing out a little bit quicker. So we'll put the rest of engineers into that, and I think I'm okay with that. All right, there we go. Some designs. We'll get the front wing once we get, or the rear wing once we get some hours. Chassis, we might put hours on that too if we think we could fit it in time. Everything else looks good. We do want to put in a few facilities. For example, I definitely want to get in the helipad and improve our sponsor payout because basically this will pay for itself. Same thing with the tour center. This is effectively pays for itself over time. So both of those are very important. Boardroom. I mean, hospitality area would be good going into next year. I do want to develop our drivers. So the idea of putting in like the race simulator would be really good, or the team hub. Even just a single tick of both of these would be actually really nice. It's only going to cost us $1 million. Yes, it does hit into our cost cap, but I do like the idea of at least getting an initial setting of these just to get some development going at all. Other than that, we do, might look into some of these other ones at some point, but for right now, we are going to just let them fly. We're going to hold on to the money we've got because, again, we have very little money going into this first game. First race, I should say. All right. Anything else we need to do this time around? I don't think so. I think we're ready to just cruise to the first race. I know there's a lot of setup, but it's a brand new team, so there's a lot of setup going into the brand new team. But we're going to go ahead and go to the first race weekend. Here's the deal. Until we get some parts ourselves, and we actually are going to compete for spots, I am going to simulate the races for these first couple. We will play races, I promise. We will absolutely play races. But until we get our own like our parts coming in where we actually can compete for a little bit better place than dead last, I'm just not going to worry about the races themselves. So we are going to go ahead and go with the bottom for both these drivers because one of them is going to be 21, the other one's going to be 22. First race out, and that all looks good. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get our setup going. And let me start over with my little thing over here. First up, change my name because I was using Oliver last time. We've got Mr. Fernandez. Not changing. There we go. Fernand. My goodness, my computer is being kind of laggy. Fernand. It's weird. With the game open, this has never happened before. With the game open, my entire rest of my computer is actually being very laggy right now. I wonder what the game's doing on memory. It's actually kind of scary to think about. Ibanez. Let's probably look. I'm kind of curious now. Oh, Ibanez. Yeah, I'm not getting any responsiveness in my browser right now. This is really kind of scary. All right, save that. And we're going to go to the very first race of the season, which is Secure. Oh, no, sorry, Bahrain. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, Secure is in Bahrain. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. It didn't look right. All right, I use a calculator. The calculator I use, I don't usually say it, but I'll go ahead and say it now. I use f1setup.it. But honestly, if you just Google F1 Manager calculator, you can find it. And the reason I use a calculator is because if I was playing a real team, I would have a computer in front of me, quite frankly. Nobody's out there guessing on car setups. They're actually using computers and feedback and things like that to plug in setups. And plus they have the setups from previous years or setups from, things like that. So it's very realistic, in my opinion, to use a calculator. So I'm going to do that. 64, 335. Now, I think they fixed it where it locks in their setups and they actually are smart enough to use the setups you gave them. We're going to find out here in a minute because I'm a little worried that it's still going to be broken. If it is, then we will just, maybe we'll have to do the final practice or something like that. But we'll go ahead and plug these in and see what kind of feedback they come back with and go from there. Everything else looks okay. Let's go. We're going to simulate the practice session. Because used to in F1 Manager 23, you could do all of this without ever having to actually do the practice itself. So it does look like they did come back with some better setups, which is good. This is what I was hoping for. So you got a 4, 11, 6, 4, 3, 3, 5. I'm going to walk through this first one. In the future, I will just simulate all this, but I figured for this very first episode, I'll show you guys what I do, and then you'll at least know what I'm doing behind the scenes when I simulate it in the future, or kind of not record this part. All right, you want to go to, we got 12 possible setups here to lock this in. Go there, and then over here, you went 5. You went the other direction there. 11, 5, 7, 3, 3, 0, and then lastly 0.3. And that got you a great, a good, a great, and 2 optimals. Drop you back down to 4, 5, 305. And 0.1. Cool. Happy with that. Let's go. All right. We're getting there. Not bad, not bad. So you went to a 4, 5, 11, 6, 4, 3, 3, 5. And 0.55. And that got you a 2 greats and 3 optimals. So we know where 4 of the optimals are now. There are 3 possible setups. Oh, I like that. And then you're up to a 95. That's pretty good improvement. And 4, 5, 11, 5, 7, 3, 3, 2, 0. That's the one change. And 0.2. And that got you 4 greats and an optimal. We still only know where one of your optimals is right now. Oh, sorry, 2 of them. We know 2 of them are. 310 and 00. Wow. 5 possible setups for you. I'm very happy that this has been fixed. This is one thing they did fix that makes me very happy, because I don't really want to have to do practice if I don't have to.
Welcome everyone to qualify.
Oh, and there you go, 100% setups. So there you go, guys. That's the reason why I don't want to do practice, because there's just no point. It saves so much time if we don't have to. All right, with 100% setups, I don't even care about qualifying, especially this first run out. So we're just going to simulate to the race. I'm assuming we're going to be dead last and second to dead last. '21st and 22nd, as expected. As far as setups, I'm not even going to change the setups right now until we get our cars. I just don't care about the setups. And also, I will say this. One good thing, the setups they give you from the, like the generated setups are actually not bad. They're really good setups. You could tweak them to get a little bit, maybe a second here, a second there. But unlike F1 Manager 23, where I could tweak and get big jumps, it's just not quite the same in this version, which is fine. I'm okay with that. There's nothing wrong with the fact that they've got it locked in here, which does probably mean that the AI teams are also using really good setups as well. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and simulate this. And I love the fact that we can simulate these races now, because if there's ever just a time where I just don't feel like I need to run a race, have the option to simulate it is perfect. So presumably we're going to be 21st and 22nd. Winning for us is not crashing. So hopefully we got 21st and 22nd without crashing. Oh, we got 20th. Fernandez got 16th. Guys, that was not how this was supposed to work. I'm confused. That is not what I mean, maybe it's because he's a slightly better driver than I usually run, but that is not what I was expecting at all. I mean, I'm still probably going to simulate till we get some parts, but if we get some parts in here, we might actually be competing for some points here soon, guys. That is a bit unexpected. And then DHL fastest, we did get 8th, 2.6 seconds. So it looks like the Ferrari's got a 2.4. So if we can get it down to 2.5, because I think this might be, you know, for all we know, this might have been a fluke. Who knows? I think if we get it under 2.5, we can probably get challenging for first place here, and I'd be happy with that. So we did get a few points in that run. And again, this is the most important thing for us right now, this first season out. Developing parts and then winning this to get more money for next year. That is what we're looking for. And we did have a mistake, but again, I don't care about the mistake that much. So I'm just happy that we got both of you guys got 21st or higher. That is awesome. Getting you $500,000 there. I was not expecting that much. And some rating increase. Our drivers are actually going to be good. What is y'all's overall? You got high aggression, and then what do we see your development? High development rate, which isn't the max, but it is pretty high. That's good. And then what about you? Your average aggression. I actually like having a balance here. I like having one that's a little bit maybe higher aggression, maybe one that's either low or average. I'm okay with that. And she does have max development rate, so that's pretty cool. Awesome. Well, there you go. First race out, guys. Better performance than I expected, which is actually probably a little bit worrisome because I don't want to perform well this first season out, because that means that something else might be broken, but it's okay. We're doing all right, and that's going to be a little bit of how we're going to go. I'm probably going to bring you guys back for updates along the way, but until we get our first set of parts here in, which race was it? Suzuka. So we'll probably do the next two sims pretty quickly, and I might even bring you guys back up next episode for Suzuka, and we'll see if the new parts will help us to actually even get into even better position or something like that. So a little bit of a long first episode, but we're going to breeze through this first season really quickly. We'll get into the second season. Second season, we'll actually really start competing for true points. And then third season, if everything goes the way I expect it to, we are going to be challenging for the title in the third season. We shall see. But I do appreciate you guys watching. Please, if you do like these types of videos and want to see more of them, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you know when these videos and more like them go live. Consider commenting below. I do read all the comments and try to respond to as many as possible. I also have channel memberships turned on if you want to support the channel in that manner. I apologize if I seem negative. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to put a positive spin on this. I do think this game has so much potential. So much potential. If you could just tweak the AI just a bit to make them a little bit smarter, this game has so much potential to be a really, really fun game. I want it to take 5, 8, 10 seasons to win first place. I don't want to do it in 3 seasons. So if they could ever get that, this game will be a game I would highly recommend, because there's a lot of other good things I like about this game. Just the balance right now, just not quite right. Not for a hard difficulty. So we'll see. We'll play through it, and we'll kind of go from there. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.